Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about something that I've wanted to talk about for a very, very long time, but I haven't up until this point, and that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But not just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but the classic JoJo reference. But what's specifically within JoJo references? JoJo referencing the band Yes. That is a very, very niche topic, but something that I know a lot about and something that I'm really, really passionate about, something I really love. I love the band Yes, my favorite of all time, and JoJo, one of my favorite shows of all time. Put that together into just something that I really, really like. So let me talk a little bit about each of these groups, or each of these things individually, just in case you don't know a lot about Yes, don't know a lot about JoJo, or don't know a lot about either. First, let me talk about Yes. That is kind of my expertise. As you can see, if you go through my channel, I have a lot of videos talking about Yes because I love them a lot. So Yes is a British progressive rock group formed in 1968. The founding members, which might seem irrelevant but is kind of important for later, are John Anderson, Chris Squire, Tony Kaye, Peter Banks, and Bill Bruford. And they ran from 1968 to today. They are still making music today, albeit with almost completely different members from those I just named. They are infamous for having a lot of members in the group, 19 in total, on and off and flipping in between, some being there for periods and then coming back later, so it's kind of convoluted looking at their history, but they have really, really amazing progressive rock music. Highly, highly recommend giving them a listen if you haven't already. I'll touch on a couple of the songs, a couple of their classics a little bit later, and be sure to listen to those if you haven't already. Absolute masterpieces. And now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, if you don't know what that is. It is a series written by Hirohiko Araki. It was published in Weekly Shonen Jump starting in 1987. If you don't know what Shonen Jump is, it is a weekly little magazine or comic compilation where authors post little bits of their comics and or manga, as they're called in Japan, into this magazine weekly, and that's just kind of what started the series, developing it into what it is today, which is a really, really big series as of recently. A little synopsis of the plot before we get into the references. The story follows the Joestar bloodline, or the Joestar familial line, as convoluted, crazy, and hard to follow as it is. It follows that family through all their strife and success in their bizarre adventure. That's a little cheesy synopsis, but it kind of gives you a better idea as to what's kind of going on, who it follows, and kind of what the story is, to some extent, without spoiling too much. Before we get into the references, please be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I really, really would appreciate it. It would really help me out a lot. The channel has been growing a lot recently. I really appreciate everyone's support, so please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And now getting into the references. The first kind of really cool reference, kind of a little tiny one, but it's a kind of the tip of the iceberg of everything, is that they straight up named a character after one of the band members. Bill Bruford, the drummer of Yes, is in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The name of the character is Bruford. Let me put him up on screen right now. And I'm going to put a picture of Bill Bruford. If you can't tell, the resemblance is uncanny. But it's a really, really great nod to the band that influenced Araki so much, to kind of his wacky way of writing and the crazy, crazy story that it is. So it's a really nice little nod to Yes, and if you understand it and kind of get it the first time you watch it, it just kind of makes you smile to yourself, and you're just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of cool. The second reference is something that I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about before. And this is in Part 4. It's the third opening of the Part 4 anime, which came out in 2016. I didn't actually see this the first time that I watched it. I only understood this on the second watch through because I didn't even notice it at all, because I must have not been paying attention, or I don't know, it just flew over my head the first time. Let me play a clip for you and let's see if you can get it the first time that you see it. If you didn't, that's okay, because, you know, I didn't either. And I'm a self-proclaimed Yes super fan, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't see this. But actually what it is Araki's name is in the font of the iconic Yes album, Close to the Edge. Let me put up both of these pictures side by side so you can see what I'm talking about. It's really interesting and something that kind of blew my mind when I discovered it. I sprinted down my stairs, went and got my Close to the Edge album, ran back upstairs and was like, yep, that's a reference, and ticked it off into my list of the exponential JoJo references. And so I thought that was really cool. I've never seen anyone talk about it. Something kind of small, and I bet there's so many other small little references like that that I have no idea about. So please be sure to put those in the comment section if you know any that I don't, that you don't see throughout the rest of this video. But I think this one is my favorite JoJo reference, and my favorite Yes reference at least. It's really, really great, the close to the edge reference. Getting into the song references, these are more overt references, the bigger references, and the few that you probably know very well. You probably know what I'm about to say, which is the most famous JoJo reference, the roundabout reference. They play Yes's probably most famous or second most famous song of all time, Roundabout, at the end of part 1 and 2 of the anime. It's absolutely amazing. I love this reference, not only because I love this song so much, and I've been a Yes fan for years now, so when I heard it for the first time, it really tugged at my heartstrings, and it just made me so happy, and I was like, oh, this is the show for me. This is definitely the show for me. And I love how they play different parts of the song depending on the ending tonality of the episode. Let me play you my favorite clip from part 2 where they reference Roundabout at the very end.
ストレイツを来るのを待ってたぜ。この程度で貴様が死ぬとは思わねえが、スピードワゴンじいさんの仇宣戦布告だぜ。
I absolutely love this. It's kind of ending at a maybe not a somber note, but kind of an intense note. Joseph's all emotional, and then getting right into the roundabout, that classic bass line. It's just wonderful. You can't help but smile at it. It's really, really amazing. And the other one, the really big Yes song reference that maybe you don't know about because it is kind of hidden in there if you don't know the song as well, is the Owner of a Lonely Heart reference. This arguably could be the most famous Yes song, more than Roundabout, but who's to say? Both of them are very famous and very, very good. This one caught me by surprise the first time because I wasn't expecting it. I knew about the Roundabout reference because of all of the memes, the inescapable memes. So this one was a bit more hidden to me. In part 2, again, when Joseph gets into a sticky situation, I think it only happens once or twice, his battle theme plays, and it has the iconic Owner of a Lonely Heart riff playing in the beginning of it. Let me play you a little clip of that right now. As I said before, this one caught me by surprise, but it's a nice little reference incorporated with some new music. It's really, really great. It's a really nice nod to Yes fans. So if you know it, if you know what you're listening to and you're like, is that Yes I hear? Is that Owner of a Lonely Heart I hear? Yes, you did, and it's great. So I really like all of these references. My favorite being the one from part 4 that's a bit more hidden. I love those subtle little things for the niche fans. To be able to pick up on. It's really, really great stuff. So if you have any more references that I didn't pick up on or I didn't know about, please be sure to leave them in the comments. I haven't finished. I have not caught up with the manga. I'm only halfway through part 6 because I've only become a fan recently and become a manga reader even more recent than that. So please be sure to let me know if there's any more references. As I said before, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. It was really, really fun to make. So I will see you guys in my next video, which is a pretty big project. I hope you stick around to see that one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.